All right, it's 5 o'clock. We'll call the meeting to order. First item on the agenda this evening is Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Item number 2 on the agenda this evening is the approval of the minutes from the June 21st, 2022 meeting.
Make a motion, we accept the minutes as presented.
I'll second. Okay, I've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll put it to a vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. And he was absent, so he'll have to abstain. All right. Third item on the agenda this evening is a public hearing for the consideration and vote to approve a conditional use permit for 506 North Silver Street. Morris Contracting, Inc. is the applicant. I will take a motion to open the public hearing.
Make a motion that we go into public hearing.
Okay. Second. I have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Public hearing is now open. Is there any members from the public that would like to speak?
In the public, we have the applicant, so if you, as we move through this, if you have questions there.
Okay, we'll do that. Did you get any correspondence?
I don't.
from the public? Okay.
No one from the public reached out.
Okay, good. Then in that case, we will close, I'll take a motion to close the public hearing.
I'd make a motion to close.
I've got a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, the public hearing is now closed. All right, Jessica.
All right, so we have the applicants here looking to house a U-Haul rental business at 506 North Silver Street. The use for the rental business requires a conditional use permit to operate in the thoroughfare access zone district. Section 21-220 provides the criteria to evaluate the sustainability of a conditional use as follows. The proposed use shall be consistent with the comprehensive plan's purpose, goals, objectives, and policies, including standards for building and structural intensities and intensities of use. The proposed use shall be compatible with the character of the land in the immediate vicinity. The proposed use's design shall minimize adverse effects, including visual impact of the proposed use on adjacent lands. The proposed use shall minimize adverse impacts on the environment, traffic and congestion, infrastructure, or governmental services. Staff opinion is the proposed use can be made consistent with the above criteria with appropriate conditions. 21-22 provides the rationale for imposing any conditions as follows. Ensure the conditional use is developed exactly as presented in drawings, exhibits, and assertions made at the hearing. Limit uses, reduce density, increase open space, landscape surfaces, or environmental protection to ensure it meets the standards by which it is approved. Limit the length of time a use may exist, or to provide for periodic review of the appropriateness of the use, or provide for elimination of the use. Impose conditions that ensure the general purposes, goals, and objectives of the comprehensive plan and this ordinance are met. Prevent or minimize adverse effects from the proposed use and development on other properties in the neighborhood and on the public health, safety, and welfare. All conditions and restrictions shall be written and given to the developer within 14 days of approval. The developer shall submit a written statement agreeing to the approval and all conditions within 14 days. If no agreement is offered, the application shall be considered denied. Based on application, staff recommends the below conditions. Lighting shall be all cutoff fixtures located to minimize impact on adjoining properties. All rental vehicles shall be parked in accordance with the parking setbacks stated in Article 4, Table 4-110A. There shall be not more than X number of rental vehicles parked at the location at one time. All rental vehicles shall be parked on a paved hard surface on the west side of the building, taking access from West Third Street. The parking lot shall be screened from neighboring properties. At any time, the city may institute revocation of the conditional use permit for violations of the conditions approved, expiration, or the reasons specified in section 21-25 of the Land Development Ordinance. The city shall provide notice to the landowner and public in the same manner as was provided for the establishment of a conditional use permit. Planning Commission shall determine how many vehicles shall be at the lot at one time. There are other businesses operating in the main building, so parking of the rental vehicles shall be restricted to the existing open space behind the building. Hard surface parking shall be added on a timeline set by Planning Commission, typically within 6 to 12 months. The Planning Commission may present alternatives for proposed conditions. Action requires the affirmative vote of a simple majority of the quorum present. When you make your motion, please use to move to recommend with stated conditions. And the attachments are the application, and then you will see the map overview in the light blue outline. Have any further questions? I'd be happy to answer, or if you have questions for the applicant.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. One question to start with.
Okay.
How many vehicles do you propose to have?
Franchise suggests that we have 6 starting out with. Probably won't have more than 8 because there probably won't be that much more room to have.
There's plenty of room for the 8, you think, in that lot?
Yeah, it's typically going to be 2 sizes of trucks or 3 sizes of trucks and then a couple trailers. So.
Yeah.
You know, that it goes in and out a lot. So depending on at one time that somebody was to bring something in, we may have more, but we can always get it off as far as.
Jessica, do we have to stipulate how many vehicles they have back there?
You don't have to stipulate.
I mean, as long as they have the parking for it, they would be good to go. I mean, we wouldn't have to say X number if there's if there's parking for the vehicles, as long as they meet the parking setbacks.
As long as they meet parking setbacks, which would be 15 feet. I can go over the table with you guys. So, because they have parking on the front side, along Silver Street, they have parking for businesses there.
Yeah.
So however many parking spaces they can fit in a parking lot.
In that lot. Okay. And then I'd like to discuss the hard surface
Okay.
part of it. In the past, we've consistently kind of allowed a minimum of 6 months for the parking. My opinion is, you guys can jump in on this, 6 months takes us out to like March, which is not a good time. I mean, to do any parking. If they don't do it immediately, then we run into the fall and into the winter when it's not doing it. So I'm more towards a year, quite honestly, than 6 months. Now, I don't know what you guys think about that. That's up to you all to.
I'm fine with it. I mean, I'm fine with a year. Are you planning to just do it all at once, or are you gonna do it in phases?
Well, you know, as any business trying to get established, so we'd like to be able to do it in phases.
Right.
As we could.
That's what I was gonna touch on, is
Yeah.
give them a year, that way if they can do
Yeah.
portions at a time.
That's what-
And then I have a question. Is the storefront of it, is it gonna be on the east side?
You mean it? Yes.
Like the public?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Design for printing, we're moving our design for printing shop, not the screen printing side, but the printing side up there.
okay.
To be along with that. So that's paper printing, promotional
Right.
side of our.
So I'm sure just from time to time, you might have a customer just pull the truck up front, not realizing just pull it out back.
Yeah.
I just want to clear the air on that. That way, if it's not discussed and then somebody drives by and sees something parked out front, they're not complaining. Because I'm sure,
We'll try to have clear signage. Most of the stuff's done online anymore,
right,
and so we'll try to have a clear signage that says this, the drop off.
right. Well, I just figured I'd touch on it that way.
Yeah, now that, I'm not saying that somebody won't just pull up and jump out.
Right.
But we'll try to get it off the. front.
And it's not gonna be long term or anything.
Yeah.
So I just figured I'd touch on
Somebody
it.
always on duty, so.
Okay.
they can do it directly if they-
Couple questions. One is just because I don't know, what is a cutoff fixture?
A cutoff fixture is not allowing light to,
Radiate.
It's like how
come
some,
out into- yeah.
it's like how some of the streetlights have the shield in front of them to keep
Yeah.
it going.
Yeah, so
across
light
the
would just
street.
be directed
Okay.
downward and then
Good.
not projected up at an angle higher than like 80 to 90 degrees.
Okay. And then it says, item 5, the parking lot shall be screened from neighboring properties. Is there any, I can't tell on the picture, is there anything around the back, the property that you're wanting to use this for now?
There's a fence that separates ours from the residential side over there on that side, on the east side. Or the
West
on
side,
west
the back side.
And then the south side is just another building that is part of our property. To the north, I mean, to the north.
Yes, okay, with the, yeah, across there. So you'll, what is your plan?
With,
Typical,
Is that what that means? That says, where it says should be screened from neighboring
So,
properties? Does that mean they?
typical screening scene is a 6-foot opaque fence. So
Privacy
on-
fence,
mhm.
chain
Chain
link with the green
slat.
Um,
slats in it?
Those are only permitted in the industrial district. So it would have to be approved material. So it could be a 6-foot wood privacy fence, it could be a 6-foot vinyl fence.
yeah, there's already a wooden fence there.
Is it 6 foot?
We'll have to,
Yeah, well, yeah, but then it cuts down for the property owner to see out off her deck.
Okay.
And she has covered most of the
So
time.
that would be something you would need to look at to make sure that it's screened properly.
I'm sorry, I guess my question is, does the fence go everywhere where the blue line
Just
is,
between-
north, south? and-
Yeah, what's a neighboring property? Does it need to be on the Third Street side as well, or does it
The
just need to
third,
be?
so it would want to be Third Street side between the residential district, which on Third Street, the homes and the thoroughfare access district.
So basically, on the west side of the property, the north side, they don't have to worry about because that's their property.
And that's where they're gonna be entering from.
So that's
They would enter
No, yeah.
on south side off of Third Street.
off there.
There's existing curb cuts, it's,
I see it now, yeah.
Now, but kind of like Andy, do they have to have a fence on Third Street?
not facing
Not
outward to Third
facing
Street,
outward?
Mhm.
Okay,
just between,
because that's not a residential district. Okay. I'm clear.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm
see,
good.
yeah, that makes sense.
You said currently that there is a 6-foot fence over there, but it jets down so the neighbor can sit on their deck.
Yeah.
something.
Now,
We
if
don't
you end
know.
up making that 6 foot, are you going, is that neighbor gonna be like upset because they wanted to be,
Well, I can't answer that.
yeah.
I mean, that would be the city telling us we have to do something.
That's the
and they're
purpose of
fine with
public
that.
hearing.
Right.
Whose fence is it?
Exactly.
Is it your fence or whose fence is it? Because,
I believe it's ours.
okay,
We believe it's ours, but
yeah, sure,
It's been there a while.
Yeah.
she has a curtain hanging up on her porch, so she's not really looking that way anyway.
okay,
So she might appreciate a 6 foot.
yeah.
But,
Yeah, my question really wasn't about
yeah.
how you do the fence. I was just wanting to kind of have clear understanding. My assumption was that's what screening meant.
That's what, that helps us to
Yeah,
understand it.
okay.
Yeah, I'm pleased with the year, and as hard as it is to get contracting done.
12 months.
Anybody have any problems with the number?
I'm sorry,
I don't.
Steve, can I ask a question? Hard surface, do we need concrete, asphalt, or just whatever we consider hard? Is there a definition of hard surface?
typically it's concrete asphalt. There's concrete pavers.
Just hard surface, okay.
Well,
Sorry.
If
if you're-
no, Andrew,
I'm
go
sorry,
ahead.
just-
No, keep
I'm
asking.
fairly new at this, so I just,
Yeah.
We're good.
you talked about the parking. I assume the codes say how many vehicles you can have in a certain amount of square footage. And like for the church, it's based on our occupancy versus parking. So is that something that, do we have to say a number to keep them within the parameters of what's already defined?
So there's standard parking stall sizes that would dictate how many they can fit on their lot.
Yeah. So do we just leave it up to whatever, however many can fit for their allotted amount of space?
If you wanted to stipulate that however many parking spaces, based off of what a parking stall width size is and length size is, then whatever they could fit on their open space with that measurement, or you could stipulate 10,
Okay.
or
Would it be more favorable for them if I'm not trying to limit the number they can have. I'm just curious if you have a piece of property, somebody determines how many spaces you can have by the size.
Yeah, are you talking on the retail side of the business? Are you talking where we're gonna store the U-Hauls?
That's where you're gonna store, yes, yeah,
Again, like I said, we're not typically gonna have more than probably 10 vehicles, and we're not gonna definitely fit more than we can fit on our lot.
right, yeah.
So, I don't really see, and we can't overcrowd it because we won't be able to get them in and out.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, and as long as they meet the setbacks.
Yeah, so, I mean, I was just curious about how it's determined, because I know there's definitions of, I know that we're told what we can and can't do.
Yeah.
So just making sure that it's more favorable for them than not.
their street parking setback is 15 feet.
Yeah,
So.
so they've got to be, as long as they meet that, whatever number they can
Yeah.
get in there, it's fine.
Will there be other things parked behind there? I'm just looking at the picture that was submitted, so I'm assuming the back here is where you're talking. Will there be other?
There'll be a gravel park. It wouldn't be anything in front of there's a back door and a overhead door that's already partially concreted, so there wouldn't be anything parked there.
Okay.
Maybe an employee vehicle, maybe to get in the backside. But,
Sure.
there may be something parked in the garage if we have space for something, a car or something. Or an employee or whatever we need,
Okay, that's fine.
or repair guy or.
Sure, no, yeah, I know we could. You could
But
wind
anything,
up.
but anything permanently, no, we're reserving that space for our rental business.
Okay, good. Let's go.
Anybody, you got all your questions?
Yeah, just really just some clarifying things, so that answers all mine, thank you.
Anybody else have any questions? Well, in that case, I'll make a motion. I make a motion to approve the conditional use permit with the following conditions as listed 1 through 6, with the exception of number 3, no limit on the number of vehicles parked as long as they meet the required setbacks. Okay. And that we allow them 12 months to hard surface the parking lot. Get that? Okay. That's my motion.
I'll second it.
I've got a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll put it to a vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. You bet.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Okay, sounds good.
Those are good questions. We'll keep them coming. All right. Item number 4 is a discussion on regulations in regards to the Paola Land Development Ordinance. Article 3, Section 3.210, accessory uses residential.
Okay, this is a carryover from last month's meeting. I added the changes that, the suggestions you guys made. So without any further ado, let's just do similar to like we did last month. I'll go through, read line item, and if you have any issues, let me know. We'll stop and make some changes, and then move forward. So outdoor storage of boats, recreational vehicles, or commercial vehicles shall conform to the following requirements. It is permissible to park or store not more than any two boats, recreational vehicles, including camping trailers, or commercial vehicles on a single family or two family lot, provided that the following criteria are met. The boat, recreational vehicle, including camping trailers or commercial vehicle, shall be parked in a garage, the side yard, or the rear yard, but not front yard, except as provided in subsection 7 below. The boat, recreational vehicle, including camping trailers or commercial vehicle, shall meet the setback requirements for an accessory structure. The recreational vehicle, including camping trailers, shall not be used for on-site dwelling purposes or permanently connected to sewer lines, water lines, or electrical lines, or used for storage. The recreational vehicle shall be owned by the resident upon whose property it is parked. The boat, recreational vehicle, including camping trailers or commercial vehicle, shall be operable with current registration. Its equipment shall be in a usable working condition at all times, not leaking fluids, and maintained in a clean, well-kept state that does not detract from the appearance of the surrounding area. The area the boat, recreational vehicle, including camping trailers or commercial vehicle is parked on is required to be a hard surface parking pad if the parking area takes direct access from a hard surface. The parking area is not required to be hard surface, provided the area has access from a non-paved alley. Any boat, recreational vehicle, including camping trailers or commercial vehicle, must be driven to and from the parking area on a dirt-free and rut-free surface, including, without being limited to, any such areas covered with grass, ground cover, water permeable grass pavers, concrete, asphalt, or other similar ground cover. Parking of one recreational vehicle or boat is permitted on a front driveway, provided the following conditions are met. There is no reasonable access to the rear or side yard. A lot shall be deemed to have reasonable access to the rear or side yard if the side yards are 10 feet or more in width. There are no large trees, trunk 4 inches in caliber, or large shrubs 6 feet in height in the side yards. Corner lots shall normally be deemed to have reasonable access to the rear yard. A fence shall not be deemed as preventing reasonable access. There is alley access. Inside parking is not possible. No part of the recreational vehicle shall extend over sidewalks or street right-of-way. Recreational vehicles, including camping trailers, may be parked on the front drive for up to 2 days to load and 2 days to unload as related to a trip. No tarps or other non-fitting makeshift covers may be used on boats, recreational vehicles, or commercial vehicles. If the recreational vehicle has slides or pop-up, they must be stored in the closed position. Storage of trailers with cars or other vehicles shall only be permitted in rear yards, provided they meet the setback requirements for an accessory structure. And then the definitions that need to be added to the LDO are vehicle, every device in, upon, or by which any person or property is or may be transported or drawn upon a public highway, excepting electric personal assistive mobility devices or devices moved by human power or used exclusively upon stationary rails or tracks. Recreational vehicle, a vehicular type unit built on or for use on a chassis and designed primarily as temporary living quarters for recreational, camping, vacation, or travel use, in which has its own motive power or is mounted on or drawn by another vehicle. Commercial motor vehicle, a motor vehicle designed or used to transport passengers or property if has a gross combination weight rating of 26,001 or more pounds, inclusive of a towed unit with a gross vehicle weight rating of more than 10,000 pounds, or has a gross vehicle weight rating of 26,001 or more pounds, or is designed to transport 16 or more passengers, including the driver, or is of any size and is used in the transportation of hazardous materials. Trailer is every vehicle without the motive power designed to carry property or passengers wholly on its own structure and to be drawn by a motor vehicle.
Excellent.
think you got it all.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify 6. Is that, I think that is written okay for clear enough, like the parking pad, if it is a wing on a driveway, then it must be hard surface. But if the question last time was if you have a turn in from a hard surface street, but you're actually driving to the rear yard to park, that doesn't need to be hard surface. Does that read okay?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was clear.
it's pretty cut and dry as far as long as there's not dirt or ruts.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if it turns to dirt and ruts, that means they're using it way too much.
Okay.
I do have a question about the zoning paper page.
Mhm.
Is that what part, that's all?
Oh, this was just my background for you, but
Okay, because I don't think we discussed the section 3.210. did we?
oh, that is how it's originally written currently in the LDO. That is what codes enforcement officer, when someone calls in with a complaint, this is all we have to go by right now of where it can and cannot be parked.
Okay,
So this is the original, and then everything behind it that I read is what we are going to change. Section 3.210 accessory use residential.
yeah,
We'll change it from the existing zoning language on the staff report for the planning division.
Okay.
We'll change it from that to everything that I just read.
okay, so we're gonna do away with the 2 acre.
Yes, we're getting,
Okay,
yeah.
that was my question. 'cause-
Yes, sorry, we are removing the vehicle length and the lot sizing.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, because I didn't think we talked about that last month. did we?
Yeah, sorry, I.
That's fine. I just want to make sure because 2 acres, nobody in town has 2 acres.
There's probably 2 or 3 lots of them.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, if everybody's good with it,
I'll,
I don't think we need. a
no motion, we
Okay.
will do, a hearing,
Public hearing next month. Okay,
and then you will make a motion, and then it'll go to council for approval.
good.
Okay.
Schedule it.
Yeah. Well, that's good news. So. Yes.
You got any-
Economic development report.
Yeah.
You guys have been driving around, you've noticed they have started some site clearing with the new Paola crossings. Casey's permit has been approved. They are finishing up their contractor information for that. And then next month, we will have, if you saw in the paper, Lake Mary is expanding, so we will have site plan review for them.
I drove by the Paola Crossing today. Is there any verbiage on like water truck? It's pretty dusty today with the wind blowing.
That I can certainly do some information. digging.
Because I know most construction sites have a water truck just for the heavy traffic. Off-road dump trucks, they just create a big old dust bowl.
Sure. With that.
Good.
Don't have anything else?
I'm trying to think if I got anything I wanted to ask you, but I don't think I do. Lake Mary's next month.
Like Mary
Pretty
May next
good.
month.
Okay, pretty sure. Okay. Who's bringing that in? Who's representing that? Do you know?
I've had a couple different contacts. Their architect probably with the main one. that'll come
Okay.
in, so.
Okay. All right.
Do we know, I think is it a super Casey's? You heard that term?
Oh, so like the full kitchen and all that,
Yeah,
judging by the size of the plane set, probably so.
yeah. I
From
heard-
what other Casey's employees have said, that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've heard too.
Yep.
And one of them in town will close, is that right?
Um,
If you, I'm just
Yeah,
asking.
I-
I don't know. I'm just asking. So.
From what they've said, the one on the east side definitely will. And then they've been back and forth on the one on the west side.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I think it'll be great.
Yeah. Yeah, get roller food.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they got a ton of fill to bring in
Yeah.
from somewhere.
Well, it's interesting because they're moving it out. They're digging it out.
Well, they're taking the
Yeah.
topsoil.
That and today when I drove by was where the old pond was.
Yeah.
So they're probably gonna take all the old silt that they just pushed
Digging
in.
that out now, and then they gotta bring something in to fill it in.
Yeah, they gotta bring some clay in or something.
Yeah,
I wonder
it'll be
if that-
interesting to watch it go.
Yeah.
mhm.
I wonder how much of that plot that Casey's will take up, because I've heard there's plans for other things, but.
Yeah, I think the
parking
front,
and-
the front couple, 150 feet or so from what, from,
Right on the
from the
front,
meetings,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, great,
So there's still gonna be plenty to the north of it.
good. That's exciting.
I don't have anything. If nobody else has anything, I'll take a motion for adjournment.
Next motion, adjourn.
Okay,
Second?
got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're